and what that looks like moving forward, right? Because right now Trump is dealing with a lot of stuff on his plate right now, right? He's dealing with a current some court cases that is obviously taking him off the campaign trail. Obviously, that's giving an advantage, I guess, in a way, to the Biden team that their main primary opponent is not on the campaign trail. He's not out there being able to campaign as regularly as he wants because he has to sit in these hearings. And so it is taking him off. But it kind of reminds me, if you guys have watched basketball back in the early 2000s, do you remember when Kobe Bryant, he was going through that whole thing with his court cases? He would have to sit in court most of the day, and then he would fly back to the game and be able to play in that game. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of that. And we know the Lakers won that series and ended up winning the championship, even through the midst of all of that was taking place. We see the same thing here with Trump, right? Trump has enormous energy. He has a lot of energy for someone his age. Obviously, we see how Biden behaves, just being about a year or two older than Trump. We see how he, slogs around and is very, very, he looks like a Roomba, right? He looks like one of those Roombas in your house. He just kind of doesn't know where to go. He bumps into something, he goes it the other way and stuff like that. Trump is not like that. Trump is full of energy. He is out there connecting with the people that he's campaigning with. He is connecting with the general public and with a lot of his goals, what he's seeking to do in a second term, which we covered many of those on our last live stream on Saturday, where these Gen Z folks, some of these outrageous Gen Z folks, were having a meltdown over some of the initiatives that Trump is seeking to do here in the United States if he's able to win the second term. And they're absolutely scared about it. However, it's brilliant because it connects with so many regular Americans in this country, so many regular individuals. I mean, what we're seeing happen right now across the country, we're seeing concern with the border. The border, once again, is a number one issue. It's an issue that most Americans are worried about and are very angry that we haven't been able to stem the invasion at the southern border. The second thing, of course, is the economy. The economy continues to be in shambles, where people are working 2 to 3 jobs just to sit there and work on trying to be able to pay bills or keep their head above water, or in some cases be able to even survive, right? We see those people working the 2 to 3 jobs in this economy still. We still see energy prices at a very all-time high. We still see them, just here where I live. The gas just jumped up literally 30 cents would end the last 7 days. It's incredible of how expensive it is to live in this economy during the Biden regime. And most Americans are feeling that pinch, right? Where the mainstream media and the regime is trying to tell people, hey, it's your imagination. You're working in the best economy ever. You're working in the lowest amount of groceries you'll have to pay for, right? And of course, it's all lies, right? It's lies after lies after lies that they continue to do. And it's interesting that the main objective for the Uniparty and the Biden regime was to ban TikTok. Really? That was our main initiative, to ban TikTok? It sets a very dangerous precedent, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. However, it's very dangerous right now because we're heading into this 2024 election, and we're giving government power to shut down these sites. What is going to stop them from shutting down somewhere like Twitter, for example, which Elon Musk has really wrote that ship back onto a course that is more engageable than it has been for the last decade, where there's actual conversation and actual political thought that's allowed to happen over there. What happens when the government says that, hey, Twitter, you're interfering in our election, we're going to shut you down. We're just going to let Facebook and Instagram run it, and they're going to continue to send money to states to put up these mail-in boxes, right? So what's going to stop them from doing that? Who I consider the biggest threat, if we're going to look at the biggest threat of social media companies, I would look at Facebook. Facebook and Instagram are probably the biggest threat to any type of election security. We saw what they did in the 2020 election, suppressing the Hunter Biden story, right? We saw the suppression of that, which would have changed votes, which would have had an impact in that election. And so we get here, we get the regime and the Uniparty all to agree to ban TikTok. And I have my grievances with that app. I have my grievances with the Chinese-owned company, with the and investors, but it's no different than the apps that you currently have already, where you are sharing information with the U.S. government, where you're sharing information with a government who basically has targeted you as an enemy of the state. In most cases, if you check a couple boxes, you're an enemy of the current state, the enemy of the current regime.